A group of volunteers from Dnipropetrovsk region arrives in Pokrovsk in the morning. The city administration provided them with several addresses of people who want to evacuate. On the outskirts of the city, loud explosions can already be heard. The Russian army has struck a residential high-rise building with bombs. The group stops to search for survivors and provide assistance.
Is anyone alive? People?
The attack took place in front of the eyes of local civilians who were waiting to be evacuated.
A large explosion hit a 9-story building near us. The entire entrance collapsed. It's destroyed. The entrance is gone. Can you tell if there were people there? I think there were people there.
After rescuing people, volunteers go to another part of the city. This residential area was shelled all night by Russian forces.
There were a lot of explosions here yesterday. Houses were burning. The entire neighborhood was on fire.
Even with electronic warfare system installed on their vehicle to counter drones, traveling through the city remains extremely dangerous. Russian forces have been using fiber optic drones to attack Pokrovsk for some time.
Wires are scattered all over the city. They constantly get tangled in the wheels. Not only are there wires on the roads, but shells and shrapnel are scattered everywhere. The roads are obstructed with shrapnel, shells, and unexploded ordnance, but we're still trying to get to the addresses.
The Russian army continuously shells Pokrovsk. Aviation regularly targets the city. Currently, the city is 70% destroyed.
It's impossible to stay in the city. There is no electricity, no water, no power. It's very hard to survive. It's terrifying here. They're shelling both day and night.
Despite the constant danger of being caught in the crossfire, evacuation continues. About 2,500 people still remain in Pokrovsk, with the majority being pensioners.
I think there were people there. A lot of elderly people are suffering. Right near the shop, there are elderly people sitting on the street. They're asking for help. People are buying them food.
During this trip, the volunteers were able to evacuate 4 people. They are planning to return to Pokrovsk in the coming days, as they already have over 10 evacuation requests. According to the regional military administration, in March, 17 civilians were killed in Pokrovsk and 28 others were injured. Reported by Alexandra Zaslavets, Alena Gramova, Evgeny Karmazin from Donetsk region, UATV News.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy visited the command post of the Pokrovsk Tactical Group, where he met with commanders of the Drone Line, a unit that unites the best UAV divisions of the Ukrainian armed forces.
Thank you for your service. Thank you.
President Zelenskyy reviewed the initial results of the drone line operations in Donetsk region and on Russian territory, discussing with unit commanders plans to expand the project. Ukrainian drones have proven to be highly effective on the battlefield. One of the latest innovations by Ukrainian developers is fiber optic drones, which cannot be detected by Russian electronic warfare systems. Operators from the Dovbush Hornet strike UAV company of the 68th Separate Ranger Brigade demonstrated how they targeted Russian forces in the Pokrovsk sector.
Do you see it? It's right there.
After several weeks of relative quiet, Russian forces are attempting to resume offensive operations in the Pokrovsk sector. However, Ukrainian Operational Strategic Group Hортиця reports that these attacks lack the intensity seen in previous months.
Pokrovsk remains one of their key objectives, but as of early March they had been exhausted both in manpower and equipment. After taking a brief pause of several weeks, they are now trying to re-energize their offensive in this direction. The scale isn't the same anymore because there just aren't that many of them there, but still, they are partially back. Viktor Trehubov, spokesman of the Operational Strategic Group of Troops Hортиця, during a broadcast on the United News Telethon.
Fortification work around Pokrovsk continues non-stop, as every additional meter of defensive structures help contain the advance of Russian occupation forces.
We've built not just defensive positions, we are working flexibly, striking incoming enemy forces. Our counter-drone systems are performing excellently. We've implemented a full-scale strategy including electronic warfare and strategic levels. Complex drone strikes are taking place. We now have drone interception systems, not only ground-based but aerial as well. This has significantly reduced the intensity of enemy drone attacks.
In Donetsk region, Ukrainian forces are also deploying Yagoza, spiral wire barriers. Soldiers of the 93rd Separate Mechanized Brigade, Holodny Yar, explain that these barriers are used to impede enemy infantry and armored vehicles. The barriers are installed using ground-based drones.
I believe the future belongs to these ground-based systems. They make our job easier across all fronts. There's still room for improvement, but we are making progress. The most important thing is to protect our personnel.
The Russian army continues to strike Pokrovsk using guided aerial bombs and attack drones. Every day civilians are killed in Donetsk region as a result of attacks by the Russian army. Local authorities are continuing evacuations.
In Pokrovsk, Russian forces killed a 41-year-old man and a 66-year-old woman. In Kramatorsk, one person was injured. In the Rozliv village, 2 civilians were wounded by an FPV drone strike. Additionally, the identities of 2 individuals killed in a recent Russian strike on Siversk have been confirmed. Russians are attacking civilians daily, every day new victims. Vadim Filashkin, head of the Donetsk Regional Military Administration, on Telegram.
Meanwhile, intense combat continues in the neighboring Donetsk sector. Ukrainian Air Force strikes have successfully hit a Russian troop concentration area, targeting the 1st Separate Guard Motor Rifle Brigade and the 103rd Motorized Rifle Regiment. According to the General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, the strike eliminated Russian personnel, including assault groups and drone operators. Reported by Katerina Bastun, Victoria Smirnova, UATV News.